Hey, thanks to our Facebook live audience.
Half a day from wherever you are.
Yeah, we had to restart our feed because it was too much
information.
Too much information.
Even technology has its limits.
Right. So, hey, we're going to get Ray Tapasnia from Gura on talk about, we had a couple comments, people wondering about rent that's going to be due here Monday. But let's get Tomas Manglotnia, who's doing some stuff for us out in Saipan. Good morning, Tomas.
Good morning, Chris and Sabrina. Thanks for having me on again.
Well, thanks for coming on. So what kind of information do you have for us today?
Yeah, and so I reached out to Kevin Bautista, who's the press secretary for the CNMI governor, and he told me that as of March 24, the CNMI has submitted 4 specimens to the Guam Public Health Laboratory, and all have been processed as negative. And he also added that Guam's been designated as a testing facility for the U.S. Pacific Islands. And so I think that's new information that I received. I'm not sure if Guam was aware of, if that's been an announcement on Guam's end.
It hasn't. I know that this question and the information you're giving us is stemming from the info that we got a few days ago that when we get tests from Saipan, we're just sending them off to Hawaii.
Yes, and I think after yesterday, I did speak with Esther Muña, the CEO of the Commonwealth Healthcare Corporation, and she told me that the date of late April for the testing capabilities was incorrect. And then I reached out and reconfirmed, and FEMA still is saying that that is the correct date for late April. So I personally am a little confused about what the testing capability will be like in the CNMI based on these conflicting reports from different officials, but hopefully we'll get a clearer picture sometime soon. I know everyone's waiting for that answer.
What else is going on in the NMI, Tomas?
Yeah, I think I also wanted to share that the public school system did suspend in-person classes, and as of yesterday, Congresswoman Tina Sablan shared an update with regards to how learning is still going to happen off campus. And so the update that she shared with all the public was that learning packets will be developed for all of the public school system's 10,000 elementary, middle, and high school students. They said that the survey they released online showed about 11% of students in the CNMI do not have access to any technology or internet at home. So they're going to work on emailing these packets out and having parents pick up these packets for about the 10,000 students in the region. Also yesterday, the COVID-19 task force in the CNMI announced that they received $366,000 through the Office of Insular Affairs for personal protective equipment. And so those are some of the updates coming in as of late yesterday.
Wow, I wonder if we got any money from DOI. That's something we're going to have to ask. Okay, we did? Okay.
I think we ran something over the weekend.
Okay.
I saw a release.
Did you have any questions for Tomas Bree? Are you looking at something over there?
Yeah, I wanted to go. I was looking at some email that I got. It was not but it's not for public dissemination for planning purposes.
Oh, great.
This was from Kevin Bautista.
Right.
Bree, I believe I did get that email as well. I think on background is they're working on streamlining communications at the governor's office and through the COVID-19 task force.
Right, and so have you been able to get all this info pretty easily, Tomas? Has the flow of information coming from the government and the NMI been satisfactory?
I think that the responses have been timely. I think, though, that there is a sense of people not necessarily being on the same page, which, might be a little troubling at this time. But I think that the government is reassuring and the health officials are reassuring that in the CNMI, even if there are no confirmed cases of COVID-19, the press secretary yesterday told me in an email that they're taking it seriously and treating the CNMI as if the virus is already here, even though there are no confirmed cases. And so that's the reassurance that was given out by the press secretary yesterday.
I'm sorry, you may have mentioned it earlier. Are there any PUIs or anyone under surveillance?
No, as I mentioned, the latest information we have right now is that as of March 24, the specimens that were submitted came back as negative. And so there have been no recent press releases or announcements about any new surveillance cases, as they're calling it here.
Are people taking social distancing and social isolation seriously on in the NMI, Tomas?
And I definitely have been. I haven't been out, so I can't, give you a first-person account. But based on what I've been seeing on my friends and family's posts in Tinian, Rhoda, and Saipan, lots of people are, staying at home. And because of the business closures after 1 p.m., some stores have even agreed to take phone orders after 1 p.m. and people can go to the grocery store and pick up, and someone will bring it to their car, bring their groceries to their car after the 1 p.m. closure because of the directive that the governor gave out just a few days ago.
Okay, and so again, in the NMI, they've gone ahead and canceled school altogether. So there's going to be no classes for the rest of this school year.
Yes, and yesterday, of course, as I mentioned, they're going to replace that with homework packets for
Right.
the rest of the school year. Yeah.
I just heard all the kids in the NMI groan. Homework packets, what?
I know.
Yes, about 10,000 of the students.
All right. Yeah, it's not like Sergeant Tapau said, it's not a vacation, right?
It isn't. Yes, I know the beaches have noticeably been, empty, and folks are definitely staying home. But I think another concern people are having is because the business hours are from 6 a.m. to 1 p.m. What we're seeing are crowded parking lots and crowded stores.
Yeah.
So that's another concern that folks are raising. And also keeping in mind that casinos are allowed to operate as, usual. So that's
What?
also something that is a bit odd. That
Whoa.
Huh?
Let's back that thing up. So the casino is open.
That's correct, yes. And we've seen Congressman Ed Probst go on Facebook raising eyebrows about this particular case.
Yeah, I've watched. I watched a little bit of one of his Facebook Live
Right.
posts. He's
He's a firebrand, I would say. is
Ah,
what you
I
call him.
see.
Yeah.
And-
Well, that's definitely an interesting piece of information, Tomas.
Yes, I think a lot of people are just adjusting to this, new normal. I'm going to pull up the exact wording in terms of what casinos are able to operate during this time. I think that, again, the government yesterday reiterated that they're treating the situation as if it's already here in the CNMI. And
who's going to the casinos during this time? That's what I'm wondering.
yeah, I saw some comments online of people asking who still has money to go to the casino at this
Yeah.
time is the question some have.
That's just crazy. Like we're able to open, but then who's going?
Right, yeah. This is why
Right,
they
this
talk
is-
about the NMI, Tomas, is things like this. Okay. So, yeah, if you can sort that out, that's just a kind of a weird one. But we definitely wish you well, Tomas. You guys haven't had your first COVID-19 positive case, but from what you're saying, the governor, the administration, advising people to treat it, like it's already there.
Yes,
Treat it
that's
like
correct. And I know everyone's definitely staying at home as much as they can.
Thank you, Tomas.
right.
Thank you.
Take
Okay,
care.
be safe.
Talk
Wash
to you
your hands.
soon.
Right on. There you go, Tomas. Did you have something there? I'm going to call Ray Tapasny real quick.
No, I was kind of surprised that the casinos are still open and they're recommending everybody stay indoors. But I guess. And just to reiterate, for those of you who aren't aware, the number of confirmed cases went up by 3. As of test results last night that were issued by the Joint Information Center, 40 tests were conducted yesterday. 2 were inconclusive. We have a total of 32 cases testing positive and 201 cases testing negative. A total of 233 tests were performed since March 12th. We heard from the Salvation Army Major Tom Sambaugh, who called us this morning, and he says that they're seeing a spike in people that are needing assistance, and he's urging people to give them a call if you can make a donation. Let me see if I can find that phone number. I believe it's 477-9855. That's 477-9855. If you can you need to make an appointment first before you drop off anything, because that's just some of the precautions that they're taking. But it's 477-9855. You can drop off any sort of food to help with their food bank, or if you'd like to make a monetary donation. We also heard from Public Health Director Linda Pinco DeNorsi, who also confirmed with us that they are working on assistance and emergency supplemental nutrition assistance for people to be able to apply.
Tomas just called to clarify that the casino is closed, but the poker parlors are open.
Okay.
Right, yeah.
Okay, well, even still.
Yeah.
Okay, who's going to the
okay.
poker parlors? Okay.
All right. So, yeah, we're going to get a hold of Ray Tapascia 928, and also we're going to close the show, catch up with Pika and the gang over at Kaduguam. I think we got Mr. Ray on the line. Ray?
Hey, good morning, Chris. How you doing?
Pretty good. I hope you guys are doing okay. Ray Tapascia, Executive Director of the Guam Housing Urban Renewal Authority. Hey, we were getting some questions about rent payments. I don't even know how it works with GURA, but has HUD come out with any further guidance or guidelines for you guys?
Well, they have. The president issued a directive to HUD that there should be no evictions or anything of the sort. HUD came out with some guidelines, but the guidelines are more focused on or doesn't really apply to Section 8 for public housing. But I can just say this for the record. We will not be evicting anyone from public housing. And as far as Section 8 is concerned, the lease agreements are between the landlord and the tenant, but landlords would not be able to immediately evict anyone because they're not because of non-payment, because they would officially have to give them 30 days notice, and then they have an appeals process. And the appeals process, my staff at GURA would have to be involved in that appeal. So I don't foresee any evictions anytime soon until we officially get back to work. Right now, we have essential employees that report to work, but not everybody's working.
Well, that's good to hear, because we did get some comments about that. So, Agora side, no evictions, and that's that.
Yeah, I don't think anybody needs to worry right now. We will be, hopefully, after the suspension, we'll be back to normal operations, and we'll deal with everything at that time.
Ray, is there anything else going on with Agora that maybe you might want to share with our listeners or our viewers on Facebook Live?
Well, we have a teleconference with HUD tomorrow at 10 a.m., so I'll have more clarity. But for right now, nobody needs to worry.
Okay. Well, thanks, Ray. Thanks for your time.
Okay.
Be safe.
There you go, Ray Tapascia. So there you go, Agora tenants, no evictions. Don't worry about a thing. Every little thing is going to be all right if you're a Agora tenant. Okay, everybody else, we're working on it. Okay. I got to get a hold of Lisa over at Catholic Social Services. Did you have something you want to read there in the meantime, Bree?
No, I don't.
We're really streamlined here.
No, I don't.
Let's go through the. You want to go to, or you want to go run through the? I think people just joining. Maybe they want to know about DOE, the grab and go meals. That's a go. Today we saw from the superintendent's Twitter that they're trying to serve 10,000 meals.
Wow, that's a lot. I wonder if because there was only 100 volunteers from DOE that were helping man all of the different sites, which I'm trying to pull up right now because there's 11 of them. But the grab and go operation, it is from 11 to 1 o'clock, and the 11 sites are as follows. In Northern Guam, Estumbo Elementary, FB Leon Guerrero Middle School, and Weddingale Elementary. In Central Guam, Agana Heights Elementary School, Carbolito Elementary School, George Washington High School, John F. Kennedy High School, Jose Rios Middle School. And in Southern Guam, Inarahan Elementary School, MU Lujan Elementary School, and Southern High School. And again, this is from 11 a.m. to 1 o'clock this afternoon that you can take advantage of the grab and go school meal program. And again, it's only for lunch, but the superintendent has indicated that they're trying to work it out where they can start serving breakfast.
Right. Thank you. So let's get Lisa Berdallo, Catholic Social Services. Lisa, I know just real quick, we're getting Pika on in a few minutes. You guys are partnering with Kadu Guam. Can you maybe just run us through a little bit of CSS and how you guys are involved with what Kadu is doing?
Yes. So we've been working with Kadu for a while to help feed our some of our folks at our shelters up there in Mangilao. We've got our Itahami shelter, which is for the chronically homeless. And Kadu's been providing food to them as a part of their, community outreach. And so we've partnered again also with Grab and Grub, and I believe Manetlu is also a beneficiary at this time, because they wanted to help feed more people, especially during this crisis. So what we've done is they've set it up so that if people out there would like to help and make a donation, Cuddle will use that to be able to prepare food for 2 plush shelters now, and then also the Manetlu folk. And Grab and Grub will deliver it to them so that they do not have to leave their houses. So the beneficiaries from the Catholic Social Service, in addition to our Izahami, which is the chronically homeless folk, we also have elderly shelters. So they're feeding our elderly residents at our Lihing homes, and also at our Saganaduran Maisa, we call it SAM. That's our place down in Maiti where there are Manamku, but also it is for the folks with disabilities, adults with disabilities live there. So they're actually providing food for 3 of our housing programs.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's a great program.
Lisa, we wanted to, originally why we had called is we had talked Salvation Army and just kind of going round robin. People are hurting right now. There's the high level of anxiety, hours cut, jobs lost. Is there any type of assistance available from Catholic Social Services? Maybe at all? Anything?
Yeah, so we, like the Salvation Army, we also have our food pantry. It's not exactly a food bank. Theirs is also a food pantry, but it's for emergency food assistance, where we provide some, canned goods or whatever for whoever needs it when they run short on food. And so we are assisting people just as they are, and we anticipate a spike in clients. So we are asking the public to donate non-perishable foods, dry or canned items. What we look for usually is meat, canned meat and canned vegetables and fruits. And we're asking the public to donate. And of course, like them, you have to make an appointment or at least call to let us know when you're going to donate, just for our safety as well. And that's what we are assisting with. Right now, our thrift store, usually we have a clothing assistance program, but right now that's on hold because of the fact that our thrift shop is closed. So we've closed off our public access, but we are still available by telephone for, especially for emergency food services.
What's the phone number?
635-1442.
Okay, again,
Or they can always, they can visit we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, and we've got our website, www.catholicsocialserviceguam.org. You can find all the information there. But please call us 635-1442 if you'd like to make a donation or if you need emergency food assistance. I know everybody's been bunkered down, so we haven't seen, it's not like people are lined up banging on our door, but
Right.
People have been calling, and we anticipate that as we're on further lockdown, people are going to need some help.
Lisa, I know there was at one point in time cash assistance that was offered by CSS. I forget what they called it. Are you guys still do that, or because I know it's very hard for a lot of these groups like CSS to get the cash to even give out? So is that still happening or no?
No, we don't have a cash assistance program. Most of ours are direct support services.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll just checking. I mean, people are commenting and wondering what type of assistance, if any, and it doesn't really look like there's any cash assistance. I mean, I don't think people are really in a position to be giving out money. So the food pantry is what you guys are offering, and you anticipate an increase in that. Donations, we're going to put out the call for you guys, Lisa?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, that's
Thanks
good.
a lot,
Yeah.
Lisa.
Go feed that chicken. Is that a resistance rooster or what? You know, there's a ban on this.
No, Agana Heights is full of them. We're the chicken capital of the island.
Okay. Thanks, Lisa.
All right. Stay healthy, guys.
Okay,
You too.
you too. Wash your hands. Lisa Berdallo, Catholic Social Services.
They are accepting donations to their food pantry. Their number to call is 635-1442, 635-1442.
Okay, we're going to take a break at 9:38. Guam's favorite, containing COVID, the KUAM News Takeover. Good morning. Still here, day 10. I did a tweet yesterday, day 9. Begged my barber to cut my hair out of her house for $50.
No
Today, I'm going up to 60. Okay, that's all I
go.
got.
Say no.
Day 10.
We're on Mando ISO.
Ear hair is something crazy. You get ear hair? No?
Ear hair?
All right. 9:44. We want to give the last word here. We try and end the show on a good note, and someone who's doing some great things out there. We got a little bit of info about it from Lisa at Catholic Social Services, but I want to bring Pika from Kadu Guam onto the show. Good morning, Pika.
Good morning, Chris.
So you guys are doing this great thing at Kadu Guam.
Kadu caregivers.
Right. You want to just kind of run through how we can get involved with that?
Absolutely, man. Thank you guys for calling and putting this up for Kadu caregivers. So really what this program is just allowing us in our small family-run business, Kadu House, to really be the middleman, right? So we partnered with 2 nonprofits, that is Catholic Social Service and Menyetlu, which is the former Big Brothers Big Sisters. And by partnering with these 2 nonprofits, we said, hey, we want to fundraise so that Kadu House can keep our kitchen cooking and cook meals for the people that you service. So for Catholic Social Service, they manage, we chose 3 of their locations where they help individuals. One of their apartment complexes houses the chronically homeless and elderly. And then there's 2 other apartment complexes that house the elderly and the elderly that live alone. So that's who we are going to be feeding with donations for Catholic Social Service. And then with Menyetlu, they work with families all over the island. And the work that they do with the families is really to educate, inspire, and empower families with children to make a better life for themselves. So we just thought partnering with them is really in line with the mission of Kadu, right? We're all about families and giving back to the community. So they have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 5 locations around the island so far, where we will be delivering food with Grab and Grub to the families there that, really could use the support. And so we said, okay, we've got these nonprofits. Kadu can do the cooking, but being a small business, that's a really big budget that we know we would not be able to take on our own. Mm-hmm. So, last week with all the news coming out, it was shocking. We were confused. We were scared. What do we do? How do we pivot our business to become sustainable? To make enough money so that we can pay our employees, pay our vendors, but at the same time, how can we do it by also doing good and really giving back to the community? So that's where Kadu Caregivers program came around, and we said, okay, well, if we're sitting here asking ourselves how we can help our island, then there's got to be everyone else on the island asking themselves that too. Mm-hmm. Because we know that we're, the position that Lenny and I are in, we're in a very fortunate position. We have the resources we need to hunker down at home and self-quarantine. But before this whole crisis hit the island, we know that families were just struggling to put food on the table before this crisis. Right. And now with this crisis, I just can't imagine the real fear and stress that these parents and families are feeling. So we said, let's use our restaurant to really become the middleman, right? And by the middleman, now we're saying, okay, here, we want to do this. And we're opening it up to all of our customers, anyone that wants to donate. Please donate here, and you know exactly where your money is going. And the money is going to pay for the food and help our team. And it's also supplementing our team's income. 15% of all of the donations will be used to pay our team. and 85% will be used strictly for the food and supplies to make these meals.
Awesome, Pika. You guys are doing great things. You've always been an awesome community partner, you and Len. But I want to talk about the food now because,
Sure.
Donating, that's all great. What are the options? What do you have at Kadu Guam that, people make these donations, you're bringing meals. What kind of meals are we talking about? And say it
Sure.
slow. Say it slow.
Okay. Well, for the meals, we have to be very strategic so that every dollar goes as far as it possibly can.
Right.
And at Kadu, our bread and butter is the Kadu that we make. And, even in our families, growing up ever since, right? When we have big families, Nana would always stretch that one chicken
Man, I'll tell
into
you.
one pot of Kadu, and it could feed the whole family.
I mean, no knock on Jesus and, turning the fish but my grandma could take one chicken and cut it into about 582 little pieces and feed 40 people with it, It's
Right.
crazy. So, yeah, definitely
Yeah.
Kadu as a meal. You're right. This is a meal that's rooted in culture and people kind of like dealing with the short end of the economic stick, get a big pot of something and, people, there's that sense of community, sharing a big pot of Kadu.
Yeah, right. And I mean, of course, in these housing developments where we'll be feeding the families, it'll be a family gets buckets of Kadu for them to share amongst themselves, so that we're not, we're not putting people in harm's way. But yeah, so it'll definitely be our cut and manuk. And bone broth soups are so nourishing, and there's so many health benefits. Aside from just the nostalgia of sitting down to a nice hot pot of Kadu, really there are so many health benefits just to shore up your body in ways that, you don't realize it's happening, but it's strengthening your bones, it's healing your gut. So yeah, we're really excited about this, and we've been overwhelmed.
I was just going to ask you that.
Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah, we launched this on Monday, and we're overwhelmed at the response. The primary way we are receiving donations are people are going online to our website.
Mm-hmm.
That's kaduguam.com, and then you're clicking the order online button. And then you can add your donation to your cart and pay as if you're buying food, right?
Right.
And that's where a majority of our donations are coming in. And I can say up until last night, so we did this maybe for the first 48 hours, we've raised $3,325.
Wow.
Yeah, it's, it gives me the chills. It really shows me how much people have to give, how big people's hearts are, and we really, this is Guam in its true sense. Everybody lifting each other up, everybody giving what they can when they can, for those that don't have it right now, right? So, I mean, we've already scheduled the first we've already scheduled for the rest of the week. We're going to be feeding 329 individuals. And, next week we're going to just keep banging it out every day, and we'll go as far as we can with these donations.
You do that. Pika, congrats. Thank you so much. We just wanted to give you the last word and put something positive here on the end of our show.
Oh, thank you guys. and I also just want to mention Kadu Guam is open for regular service,
right,
between Monday through Friday between 4 and 8.
And you guys have always been kind of a grab and go and not a dine-in facility, right? So.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're set up for this takeout business, right? Things are a little different. We don't allow anybody in the store. We definitely have very strict protocols with our team. They're self-quarantining if they're not at work, and we only have 3 individuals working at a time. But so we are open for dinner service, and we appreciate anybody that comes in or anybody that orders from us. Also if you're self-quarantining at home and you don't want to venture out into the world, our partners at Grab and Grub, this is a new app that is available for everybody here on island. You just download the app on your phone, or you can even go online, and you can get the food delivered directly to you. And maybe you're not hungry, but you have a family in mind that you know could use the food and the love and the nourishment. Go ahead and go on the Grab and Grub app and send the food to them and brighten somebody's day and make their tummies happy at the same time.
Thank you, Pika.
Yeah, thank you guys, and God bless you, and God bless Guam.
Okay, you got
Be
it.
safe.
Pika Farron of Kadu Guam, and of course
They've
Kitchen
got their
Lingo.
they got their Kadu Caregivers program underway. They partnered with Catholic Social Services and Manyetlu Guam. I think she said they were providing meals to their facilities. 3 for Catholic Social Services. They have a facility for the chronically homeless and elderly units. And Manyetlu, I think they're servicing about 5 different programs under them for a total of 8. And for people that want to make a donation, you can go to kaduguam.com to make a electronic transfer of cash that way, so that they can keep the program running. And she said, this week they're looking at serving over 300 meals. 329 meals this week.
Yeah.
And they're going to keep going, keep banging it out, taking it day by day.
Just keep banging it out.
Yeah,
they're hustlers, man.
they are, and it's through Grab and Grub. They're going to be making the delivery.
And that's all over WhatsApp. I got it about 80 times this morning on WhatsApp, so you can get all the info too on their Instagram. Jay?
Okay, we do only have a couple minutes left, but I wanted to jump in and just say, we had that very wonderful Yolanda Pilarca joined us yesterday, and she very, very graciously shared the story of her late auntie Doring yesterday. And we told you, and Yoli was telling us that you can go on Glenn, our friend Glenn Lujan. He is doing nightly rosaries, and people can join in. It's a completely public Facebook Live session. People can pray the rosary. I jumped in last night. By the time we got finished posting all the JIC releases, I think I joined at about the third Sorrowful Mystery.
Okay.
But it was an absolutely amazing experience. I mean, if you guys want to watch it, it's on demand right now. Glenn is very, very, this is what he does, right? This is his gift. This is his passion. And this is his part as a Guamanian. We're gathering news and we're putting it out. This is what we do. Glenn is doing that. It had a huge community. Everybody was joining it in. And he even shared some thoughts of his last night, because he said Auntie Doring was his teacher.
Right.
And a lot of people were just, they were expressing their sympathies. It was, Yoli was in there too. I had a couple chat messages with her back and forth. And everybody, it's, if you want to join in, Glenn is actually hosting these Facebook Live. They're praying the rosary every night. His handle on Facebook, it's facebook.com/francis.g.lujan. He goes by Glenn, but it's francis.g.lujan. And it's Glenn. Please watch the rosary. It is, it will give you a sense of peace. I was in tears last night when he said it, because he shared a lot of his own thoughts, as I said, about Auntie Doring. And it was an amazing way to do stuff. And that's what we're seeing a lot of Guamanians do now is, hey, I'm going to bring what I know how to do, and I'm going to contribute to the community in a positive way.
Right. Thank you so much.
People are leaning towards faith. So.
Yeah.
And also, speaking of faith, we do have masses that we carry every day on Facebook Live at 12:10 in the afternoon. So make sure to check that out. Attend Mass online, and then participate in the Rosary before you go to sleep at night.
There you go. Jay, I just want to ask Glenn,
yes, sir.
His speed, is he a turbo Tetsa, or is he a little bit?
Is it in Chamorro, or is it?
It was in English, but you could. I'm assuming there were other people in the house, because he's got a little bit of an altar set up in.
Who doesn't? I have one in my house.
But so he positioned. And
do you have an altar, Bree?
No.
Oh man.
Well, of course, we work in TV and we work in video, so his framing was absolutely wonderful, and he's got the altar position there. But then he was
Look
he
at
was
this
reading,
guy. His framing was on point, man.
And then the blocking and everything. But and he was reading it, and in several times in reading the rosary, he got very, very emotional. And as Yoli was intimating with us yesterday during Containing COVID, she said they were offering up Auntie Dorings for prayer and for rosaries. And they said it's not just about a particular person that they're having this rosary. Yoli even said we're doing this for all the healthcare workers, everybody on Guam, the people that are sick, the people that are that can't just stay in. The doctors, the physicians, the emergency responders. And she goes, we're praying the rosary for everybody. And that's what it should be about.
Thank you, Jason.
Thanks, Jason.
There you go. Jason Salas, of course, from our digital team. Well, Bree, great show. Last comment here. Public Health Open. How do we apply for SNAP assistance? I think you can call, I guess. I mean, there's
Call the Joint Information Center.
Yeah, call the Joint Information Center.
I think
And
we have
they'll-
the number on one of our social media pages.
There you go.
I can't recall it right now.
It's 9:59. We're KUMFM Agotnia. Good job today, Bree.
Good job, Chris.
Okay,
Good
I'm
job,
leaving you guys-
Jason. Joe, sir, can you just come over here? This is our man behind the iPad, Joe, sir.
Yeah, let's
Good
get
job.
Joe Sir on there.
Elbow.
Elbow,
Not too
rock,
close.
yeah,
6
okay,
feet. Get away.
right, yeah.
Thank you.
Back where you came from. All right, go over there. Okay, so thank you guys on our Facebook Live audience for listening all around the island. Thanks for listening on the radio, commenting, calling, sharing your thoughts, concerns, and your prayers. We definitely need more of those. I'm going to leave you guys with my good friend, the late Ken Joada, and I love Guam. Wahoo Chris, adios.
Stay home.